Imagine for a moment that everything you've ever been told about life, the goals you were taught to chase, the fears you were conditioned to avoid, the endless problems you were told to fix suddenly begin to crumble. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that life is not a puzzle, not a formula, not a machine that needs repairing, but something far more fragile, far more mysterious, far more alive. This is the realization that Søren Kierkegaard, the father of existentialism, offered to anyone brave enough to stop running and simply feel life is not a problem to be solved, but reality to be experienced. On the surface, it sounds poetic, inspiring, even comforting, but beneath those words lies a truth so profound that most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid it. Because if life is not a problem, then all the structures we cling to for safety, for meaning, for certainty begin to fall apart, and suddenly we're left with ourselves in all our fear, all our confusion, all our vulnerability. But let's begin at the beginning. Let's explore why Kierkegaard, one of history's most misunderstood thinkers, felt compelled to challenge the very foundation of how human beings approach existence. Think about the way society teaches us to live from the moment we're old enough to speak, we're handed expectations, instructions, blueprints for how life should unfold. We learned that happiness must be earned, that love must be deserved, that success must be chased. We learned that life is a ladder and every step is a problem to solve, a test to pass, a fur to overcome. We learned to ask him, I doing enough? Am I becoming enough? Fixing enough, but rarely, almost never, are we taught to ask him, I experiencing any of this? When navigate life like a maze, believing that if we can just find the right path, avoid the wrong turns, and decode the right formula, everything will be okay. But Kierkegaard saw something different. He saw that this relentless fixation on solving life was itself the root of our suffering, because when you treat life as a problem, you position yourself as someone under threat, someone incomplete, someone who must constantly calculate, control, and conquer, and in doing so you forget to live. This is what Kierkegaard feared most, that humans burdened by anxiety, ridden, overwhelmed by the expectations of society, would lose their ability to experience the world directly, raw, immediate, unfiltered. So let's look deeper. What does it truly mean to treat life as a problem? It means constantly searching for answers. Instead of asking better questions, it means seeking certainty in a world built on uncertainty. It means believing that every emotion must have a solution. Every struggle must have a cure. Every discomfort must be eliminated. But life simply doesn't work that way. You cannot solve grief or silence longing, or calculate love. You cannot diagnose purpose or troubleshoot loneliness like a faulty device. When we try, we fracture ourselves, reduce the complexity of human experience into neat little equations that will never capture its view. Wellness. Kierkegaard saw this, and so he offered a different path, a radical shift, not in philosophy, but in perception. Stop trying to solve life, start experiencing it. But what does it mean to experience life? It means allowing yourself to feel without rushing, interpret, or fix or control it. It means sitting with your emotions long enough for them to reveal their truth, instead of treating them like problems that need solutions. Sit means walking through the world with openness, instead of defensiveness, with curiosity, instead of fear. Experiencing life is not about pay. Sive acceptance, it is about active presence. It is about remembering that you are not a machine, and existence is not an equation. It is a momentary sensation of breath. And yet most people are terrified of truly experiencing life. Do you know why? Because when you stop trying to solve everything, you finally hear yourself. And sometimes that voice within you is not comfortable, not polished, nosily explained. When you stop solving, you stop fighting, you confront the truth that you are uncertain, that you are vulnerable, that you are unfinished. And that is where real living begins. Kierkegaard believed that the greatest courage is not the courage to fix the world, but the courage to feel it, to feel its beauty, its chaos, its contradictions, its uncertainty, to feel yourself without filters, without masks, without roles. And perhaps this is why his philosophy still resonates in an age where people are more overwhelmed, more anxious, more disconnected than ever. We're constantly fed solutions for everything: how to be happier, how to be more productive, how to be more confident, how to be more this and less that, but very rarely are we invited to's. Imply B, but Kierkegaard's truth is not an escape. It is not an excuse to avoid responsibility. It is an invitation to a deeper form of responsibility, the responsibility to be fully present, to be fully alive, to be fully you. So let's look at these cond half of Kierkegaard's statement. Life is a reality, to be experienced, not observed, not analyzed, not optimized, not perfected, experienced in the trembling moments of uncertainty, in the aching moments of longing, in the silent spaces between breath. Life is experienced when you stop rushing through it, when you stop tree. Tin yourself like a problem that must be fixed. Before you deserve to live, life begins when you allow yourself to feel joy without questioning whether you've earned it, to feel sadness without diagnosing whether something is wrong with you, to feel confusion without demanding instant clarity. Life is a reality to be tasted, to be felt in all its imperfect, chaotic, unpredictable beauty. And here's the profound truth hidden within Kierkegaard's words: you cannot fully live if you are constantly trying to protect yourself from the experience of living. That is the paradox every human faces. The more you try to control life, the smaller it becomes. The more you try to solve life, the more distant you grow from it. The more you try to eliminate uncertainty, the more anxious you become. Because life was never meant to be solved. It was meant to be lived, to be entered with trembling hands and an open heart, to be met, not with perfect answers, but with real presence. Kierkegaard's message is not just philosophical, it is deeply human. It is our reminder that the most meaningful parts of life are not logical, not controllable, not solvable. Love cannot be solved, only experienced. Faith cannot be proven, only lived. Meaning cannot be found through calculation, but through engagement. And the self cannot be discovered through analysis, but through existence. This is the silent wisdom within Kierkegaard's words. And if you let it sin kin to you, something begins to shift. You stop demanding that life be different and begin to finally see it as it truly is, not a problem, but a miracle, not a riddle, but a moment, not a burden, but a chance to be here, to feel, to breathe, that to exist as you are. So now ask yourself, are you solving life, or are you experiencing it? Are you living through fear or through presence? Are you chasing answers or embracing the truth that some things are only understood by being lived? Because the day you stop trying to solve life is the day you finally begin to live it.